Hello and welcome to GSR's Tier 3 race number 1 here in Silverstone. It is a dry qualifying session and dry race after the torrential downpours that we had yesterday in Tier 4. I'm joined by Season 3 Tier 1 champion Alabama Outlaw. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to be here with you in the booth today, watching these guys go around the track. It's going to be a great race to witness.
Yeah, I hope we do have a good one. We have 14 in the lobby. We might have a 15th joining if his game will cooperate. But, as Don Fabiano goes fastest with a 1:25.797. We have a couple minutes left in quali. Yeah, not too much just yet, but hopefully we get some good action in the race today.
Definitely. As a lot of these guys, I believe some of them are making their GSR debut for Tier 3. Going to be looking out for those rookies today.
Yeah, we have a whole bunch of rookies in the in this tier as well as all over the league. We got Don Fabiano, Aid, F1 Master, Albalicious, FH 444, and many others up and down the field making their debut starts in F1. Yeah, but we also have a lot of returning names like Squid Jr., if you remember from last year's Tier 2. We have GSR Bianchi, the other owner in the league, along with myself, and DJ Dizzle from mini-season just a couple of weeks ago. So, good mix of people here. Hopefully it's a good competition overall. We had a very good race in Tier 4 yesterday with some late safety car drama and tire choices.
Oh, there's a spin. Dizzle into the wall. Out of Cop's
Just
corner.
talking about him, put the commentator's curse on him. Lost the whole front wing. That's Albalicious going by.
Did not end his qualifying session. He'll be able to get back into the pits and maybe get a lap and one more lap in, depending on if he has fresh tires left.
He'll have to limp back to pit road, and hopefully he'll be able to get one more run in qualifying here. So far, a big spread. About almost a 3-second split between first and 13th at the moment, with the 1:28.001 almost in the 27s there, being our lowest time overall at the moment. So, but at the top, very close, with just under half a tenth separating Don Fabiano and Aid F1 Master. Now, I would like to mention that yesterday's Tier 4 race was on normal corner cutting stringency, and today is on strict. This will be our first Tier 3 race with strict on. As last season we ran normal corner cutting. So, this could cause a lot of penalties, and maybe even the win being decided off penalties in the end, with some of the lack of experience with some of these drivers, or just lack of overall pace and consistency that some of these guys may have. So we'll see if that becomes a big factor, as Britain is, I would say, not the easiest to corner cut like a France or Italy per se, but it's not also, you can also, if you're a bit just not concentrating enough, you can easily, so
Definitely.
see if that comes into it.
That always affects, especially at this circuit, of kind of how you can extend these corners. You will always get those warnings, and the penalties will affect where you finish, especially in these lower tiers where they're definitely common.
Yeah, for sure. And even with how many, how close some of these tiers are in pace, could see someone drop from a podium to outside the points even if we get a late safety car. So, yeah, that's definitely something to watch out for. I'll be trying to keep track of that on stream for you guys as best as possible towards the end of the race. And yeah, so just a human. When P5, he was last place out of everybody. Had not set a time right before this. As we're coming down to people's final runs, everyone getting ready to gear up and go. As Callum has actually gone to the top. I missed that. He beat Don Fabiano's time with a 125.695, first into the sixes today.
About a 10th clear of Don, like you said. This field's, the top 8's relatively tight. About a second separates them. Yeah, about the top 9's about a second. So it's going to be a good fight for this pole here in the final minute.
After that is a slight little drop off to Haas Boomer in 10th, but we'll see if anyone's final runs change that. As I think Callum is out of runs, so it'll be all down to the guys behind him. I'm looking at Don Fabiano. We're riding on board with him right now, going through Brooklands here.
Goes a little wide.
As
he invalidates.
I think that might be invalid.
That's going to end his
so
day.
He'll have to settle for at least the second place. See if anyone else improves.
Directly behind him is F1 Master. He is on his lap.
Yes, he's easy flat through that right-hander there. And now comes to the Maggots and Beckett section. Very flowing this year, especially with the increased downforce. So you see some people fly through there.
That was nice and tight in. He had a purple sector there.
Purple sector 2. Coming to the final corners here now to the chicane. Gotta just lightly graze these curbs if possible. Gets the first one nice.
Gets on the total. See what he can put
across
down.
The line. Where does he go? He goes fastest. 125.5.
Follow the next guy around.
10th over Callum.
His
squid is sideways as well. That'll be his qualifying done and dusted.
FH goes 5th fastest. Is there anybody behind him? Tanky, he is on the lap.
Tanky and GJ Dizzle, who was a little bit farther on the lap, I think.
He is.
He is actually invalid.
Invalidated.
So I believe that is his quality over as well. So it's just Tanky now. As Squid had a mishap on his lap. Now through Beckett's. Open the DRS. How far up is he? He's 4/10 up. That'll currently be in the top 4. We'll see if he can maintain that coming through Sector 3 here. A little wide. Just gotta hook it through the final chicane. It's the rotation nicely out to the final corner. Easy flat. He will go 4th. Just over Squid. And I believe that will be our session done, unless... No, that'll be it.
That is it.
So, we have 8 F1 Master on top of the 125.5, and Callum just a 10th and a half off of that. Did not get a last-minute run in. Don Fabiano, we saw the mishap he had, and he's 2/10 off. Tanky in 4th, Squid 5th, F4, or is it FH? Yeah, FH 444.
He will fall down to P11 though for this.
Yes, he has a
due to that grid
penalty from earlier. We'll see how that'll affect everything. He'll have to get through the field. So that promotes Just a Human up to 6th, Abolitious to 7th, Hooded Monster to 8th, Haas Boomer 9th, and rounding out your top 10 will be Crooked Can. So I would say very close between those top. I would say about 3, and then a small little drop to 4th through 7th and 8th, and then another drop back again. So could see some gaps form. DRS trains maybe come into play here. Britain is very powerful with the DRS, as it is a wide open circuit most of the time.
As it comes to the strategy here, all these guys did qualify on softs, so there won't be too much of a difference for the top 10. But outside of the top 10, you might see some guys on the medium tires, maybe even the hards, just trying to do something different than the guys in front of them to kind of even things out a little bit.
Well, we'll see. I believe the strategy here today is a soft to medium, straightforward, a pit about lap 10-ish. And we might see some outside the top 10 go for that alternate strategy of a medium to soft, which could work out in the end, especially if they want to try and nab fastest lap. We'll see how that goes. But if people do have to pit lap 1 for any sort of damage, or if there's a safety car, hards will definitely make it to the end. So we've got our formation lap first. There's our strategy shown on the screen. Predicted pit stop strategy is a one-stop softs to mediums pit allowed. Lap 10 to 13 would not be surprised seeing lap 9 undercuts as well. And soft to hard was the other strategy, but soft medium would definitely be faster in the long run, I believe. Alright, Bamo, let's each go through 2 favorites that we have today that we think will outperform or just do better than what we think they qualified in. How about you start?
I think my first guy that I'm going to look at is GSR Callum. I know that I've raced with him plenty of times. He used to be a driver for me back in Alpha when I owned McLaren, and he always had a good pace under him, and I think Britain's one of those tracks where he excels at, and he's comfortable here. He's a good driver, and I think he can get something done today for sure. And then the other guy I'm looking at is Squid Jr. Squid, he's also got some pretty good pace. When I came into the commentary booth today and saw that he was in 2-3, I was actually a little bit shocked by it. So I think he's definitely got the pace to win today and pick up some good ground.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that guy in 4th place, Tanky. Last year, Tier 3, still in Tier 3, even... Oh, it's leaving Ferrari off in the back. And in AlphaTauri. Tanky always showed good race pace. We'll see how he does with the corner cutting stringency being a lot more strict. I think he can definitely charge for a podium here, especially starting from 4th place. And my other guy, I think starting way down farther than where he should be, is fellow owner GSR Bianchi. Starting on those soft compound tires, 13th, I think he can move forward in this race. His race pace is usually faster than the quali pace, so I would not be surprised to seeing him make a couple overtakes here or get out of chaos that usually happens on lap 1. So as the cars finally get ready to line up on the grid here, 26 viewers, almost matching Tier 3 or Tier 4 yesterday. As we get ready, 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. Aid F1 Master gets a really good jump compared to Callum, as Don Fabiano is going to pull alongside. Down into 1, no chaos at the front. Seems we have 1 car maybe off of the back. There's a Red Bull, and Callum will take the lead away from Aid F1 Master off the start here.
Oh, we got 1 spun in the back. It looked like a racing point.
It's DJ Dizzle off in the back. Oof. And
1 Renault in the grass.
Running wide. But Callum off to a great start here in the McLaren over Aid F1, Don Fabiano and Squid, the 2 Alfa Romeos, 3rd and 4th here, as we have another yellow flag. That is still for the racing point of GJ Dizzle down in 15th. But it seems we have gone single file here, a little farther back. Some cars peeking out of line here as we go now down into Maggots and Beckett's.
Side by side into Maggots and Beckett's. The Renault passes the Mercedes, a broken reptile, as GSR Bianchi is also making moves up to
Bianchi
P11.
has wing damage on that right side, I believe. missing the right end plate, if I'm correct. Yes, he is. So he was involved in something lap 1, so it would not be surprised seeing him dive it into pit road. He does not.
We'll see how many do pit on this lap, as there was a lot damage done.
Yeah.
As Callum,
we have.
Oh, it's the time glitch.
Got a little time glitch here. Hopefully that fixes itself out, but up 5 positions. The best in the whole field is Ant GD12, new to the league. Did not get to qualify, so we'll see where he actually stands in actual pace here, as his game will not let him load into quali. But back up front, Callum still leads 8 F1 and Don Fabiano. As a little bit forming behind Hooded Monster here, we got a couple cars, as we have a side-by-side, almost side-by-side here, between the Alpha Tauris. As Ant gains another position, up 7 from starting at the back in the final row, I believe. I don't know if he started last or not.
Looks like the Racing Point of Human now going on to the outside of the corner on Abolitious. The Stowe
using overtake, still side by side between the two. And Abolitious will stay ahead at the moment over Just a Human. Callum will set fastest level. Anyone beat that coming to the line here? Do not see. So Callum.
Oh,
Callum stretching the lead.
Going to be a move side by side.
Oh, as there's a car off here, but that was a Renault of Haas. So, or no, it was FH in the back. Haas is in the pit lane. As 8F1 was able to stay in that DRS of Callum. Like I said, DRS very powerful here. We'll see if anything comes from that, as the top 4 are all within DRS of each other. We could see a train form here. And that's another 2-second, almost 3-second gap now to Tanky in 5th. And he's got a gap behind him as well.
Like you said, DRS just beginning this lap. We'll see it for the first time on the hanger straight, as Callum already picks up the 3-second.
That's alarming. Only through lap 3, already 3 warnings on the track limits here.
Aid Master now that DRS, as you said, going through Stowe. He made up about 2 seconds on that straight to the leader, followed by Don and Squid closely behind. Callum with a little bit loose there through the chicane. Aid might have a move on him down the inside, right at the finish line. Will he get the move done? He does. Oh, Callum's off in the gravel. Callum in the gravel loses lots of spots down to 4th place. I believe somebody got a time penalty there. May have been Aid. Is Callum now out of the podium positions? Aid and Squid now fighting side by side. Aid still in front of them though. Now Squid gets the DRS. Overtake mode enabled. Down into Luffield and Brooklands. Takes it away from him now into P2. I believe Axe may be in the middle of something, but as we saw Callum and Aid Master, they were side by side of each other through Abbey, and that did not work out too well for the McLaren. As now side by side yet again through Cop's corner. Squid and F1 Master
Squid
going
runs
at it.
wide. As Tanky picks up a 3-second as well. Only lap 4. These guys are going to have to be very careful the rest of the race if they want to keep it relatively clean. As we have a VSC for a that
I believe there's
the
a
Haas
car
Boomer off and
somewhere.
DNF'd. How about this Alfa Romeo 1-2 here with Don Fabiano leading Squid Jr. They had a Alfa Romeo in Tier 4 yesterday had a great showing with Evo Matrix winning the race, and then sadly his teammate had fallen all the way back after staying out on the wet tires, which were not the tire to be on at that moment, and he fell all the way back to, I believe it was like 8th or 9th place, somewhere around there. but they had a good showing, and it looks very good for them again. Bianchi speeding in the pit lane, going maybe try to do fix that wing damage. As Don Fabiano's got off
for the leader.
speeding. So that changes everything. That'll promote Squid to the lead of the race here. As Don in the lead, I think he just sped. It did not look like he pulled away that far from Squid. Remember, you can't cheese this safety car delta like you can on F1 2019. Yeah.
He will pay the price for that. Absolute worst thing you can do under a safety car. Virtual safety car.
Yes.
Because I had an experience with it.
So, Squid will be leading this race. 8F1 trying to stick in DRS here of Squid to give him a challenge here.
Oh, he goes off the grass.
Like, Squid's got the grass. 8's going to take the potential lead of this race here.
Good job by Squid to keep that car from going into the barrier. Could have ended his race very quickly.
Yeah, it could have easily finished that race done and dusted. Softs are going to start going off a tiny bit.
Don serves his penalty.
Serve that drive. Just serve the drive-through. So that promotes 8F1 to the lead of the race, and everyone will gain one position out of all this. Gonna look at our tires. Bianchi is on hards, everybody else on softs. So around lap 10-ish, we'll start to see pit stops. Would not, again, be surprised to see some early stops by some people trying to get an undercut and advantage, stuck in the DRS, trying to get a couple spots out of that. But Squid staying on the heels of 8F1 at the moment, as Abolitious, I believe, is all over Tanky and Callum. With Just a Human and GD in 7th place, following them through as well.
Hooded Monster going onto the outside of the AlphaTauri through Cop's corner. That could not go. That normally doesn't end well. They stay side by side. Battle for
they
place.
touch!
Oh, they're
they still touch in, and the AlphaTauri's gonna go off.
He is. Oh, he's in the gravel. He also received a 3-second time penalty. That was not very nice by the game, but he falls out of the points.
He's gonna fall back to 12th. Gonna have to clean those tires off and get going again. Hope for a safety car as Abolitious picks up a 3-second as well, up in 6th place in the top DRS train there, as Squid sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix on coming to lap number 7 now. So everybody's starting to spread out a little bit here.
Another 3 seconds for Bianchi, back down in 14th.
And Crooked Can in 8th as well. Picked up one as right on board Just a Human here in P5, right behind the double McLaren in 3 and 4, with Callum leading that, with Tanky right behind him. As Tanky runs wide there, and he does pick up a 30-second from that as well. That might be his second of the Grand Prix here. I'll go and count those up towards the end of the race when it really matters. As
we got a
goes on the hards.
Side by side. Great place. Going to the old start-finish line. Reptile will take that spot away, as Don has a 3-second, and now the Ferrari
as Hooded Mustard
has a problem. I'm in the Cop's corner, not sure what happened through there.
I don't know if it's just
Squid
backed
is
out of it too
closing
hard.
on the leader. Squid is closing in the stove. Not this time.
Not this time. Anything into the chicane just a bit too far back, in my opinion. Will not be able to go for the dive. We'll see if Idiot Hay has anything through Sector 1 here. Down to the hangar straight.
Abolitious is in the pits now.
Abolitious coming to lap 8 now, so that's an early stop by him. Crooked Can also pitting, picks up a 5-second penalty in this pit lane as well. Not ideal for him, as Squid, will he be able to do anything on aid here? Not using overtake, does not look like it. Content to stay behind right now. They're pulling a gap to the cars behind as well. So It's a 2-horse race at the front. 8F1 and Squid. Newcomer in 8. And Squid, a one-season veteran. So, will he experience do anything? Probably not. 8F1 it says he's a master, so I would assume that he'd be alright. As
He is.
lap 8, will we see anyone dive it in?
For his first showing, he is in the lead, so his word is not incorrect just yet.
Yeah, he's doing well as just a human just too far back from Tanky, as Callum will dive it into the pits. He'll be the first of the top 3. Lap 8, he'll presumably go onto mediums here to round out the Grand Prix. See if he can gain any time on those top 2. It's going to be difficult as they are DRS training off each other, as just a human picks up a 3-second right behind Tanky here. Just not go for the
thought
move.
about a dive there. He'll definitely be looking
Does
to
he have
make a move
anything
down
here?
through the straight as Tanky
Oh, Tanky.
has to correct himself. Gonna give Human a
Swirly
run.
off as Human overtake mode, pulls to the left side and has
Easy overtake.
done and dusted. Textbook move by just a human here in the racing point, and now he'll try and set after those top 2 if he can. Use an overtake just to get a little gap to Tanky here, trying to cure it. As yeah, should see a couple more pit stops here. Lap 9, I did say that was prime undercut range, in my opinion. So
yeah, and the leaders. F1 Master
8F1 does
pit.
dive it in.
Squid
He
stays out
dives it
another
in,
lap.
Squid will stay, and he'll
See
try and
everyone
push on
behind.
as nobody behind in 3rd and 4th go at the box. Will anyone in that 3-car train from 6th through 8th here, Hooded Monster does, and GJ Dizzle and Ant both stay out. Pit window is now open on lap 10 here. We'll see if Squid comes in this time. I would assume he would to cover off 8F1 Master. Everybody swapping to the medium as Ant GD is spun around, has lost his front wing. And that brings out a full course safety car here.
That changes. Oh, that just ruins F1
That
Master's
changes
strategy here.
Everything. That gives most
Squid's
of
gonna
that
take the
top
lead.
5 group a free pit stop. Squid's going to take the lead. Just a Human, Tanky, Broken Reptile, and GJ Dizzle and Don Fabiano with that speeding penalty beforehand. They're all going to gain out through this. So
The leader of our race, F1 Master, will now be starting this safety car basically around 6th place. 5th, 4th.
yeah,
He'll lose 3 spots.
he's not
due
going to be
this.
first, that's for sure. He's going to lose a lot of spots here.
As Squid pits,
We have
followed by
FH.
Human and Tanky.
There's the safety car waiting. A Squid, Human, Tanky, Broken Reptile should be coming around all box this lap for the medium compound tire. Stretch to the end. I'm interested to see where Aid F1 Master will come out here. As Ant pits in front of him, where will he slot out? This is one of the longer pit lanes, but 8F1 Master does have that delta. Where does he slot in?
The Delta seems like it's being quite kind to him.
Yeah,
I
either
think
that
he
or he's
slowed down
speeding up
too
past
much.
it to get by him, and he's going to come
Yeah.
out in 2nd place here, just ahead of the racing point, just a Human. So he's lost 1 to Squid. Squid had a free pit stop out of that. But
I expected that safety car delta to play a bigger role, but I believe he kind of was able to get a bit quicker through there.
yeah, he
Didn't seem like
definitely
slowing down too much.
didn't lose as much time as I thought he would. So pretty much everybody will be on mediums now. I believe that those guys that were on hards are going to stop again and put on mediums. So I think it should be a straight sprint to finish. They're going to be about 13, 14 laps to go when the safety car comes in, which is a little bit more than we had yesterday in Tier 4. Tier 4 had about, I think, 10 to go when that safety car came in. So we'll see if anyone can come from the back. Bianchi, Crooked Can, FH, and after the spin could recover well here. P11. While we have this safety car, oh, Just a Human gets a 5-second for collision. See if he can get that removed at the end. I did not see it on stream. I don't think.
He must have accidentally ran into the back of them through one of those S's through there.
Yeah.
Not
So
sure if he
I'm
has
going to
any
check
ring
penalties here. Squid, just one warning all day. 8F1 had a 5 seconds. That would be for the collision. We'll see if he gets that taken off. He has 2 warnings other than that. Just a Human has the penalty in the 5 second, which might be able to taken off. Tanky, 2 penalties and a warning on the day. Callum, 1 penalty and 2 warnings, close to the 6-second mark there. Albalicious, 1 penalty, another warning. Broken Reptile, 1 penalty. Hooded Monster, 2 penalties. And GJ Dizzle has just 1 warning on the day. Don Fabiano, 2 penalties. Ant GD, 1 penalty, another warning. And FH 444 is 2 warnings. Bianchi has a boatload of penalties. I do not see him getting inside the points anytime soon. And Crooked Can has 3 penalties of his own, so not looking good for those guys in the back trying to climb their way out. But Squid and Aid both on 0 penalties at the moment. So
There was another collision in the back as you were rounding off those penalties. Ant ran into the back of somebody and picked up another 5 seconds for a severe collision.
that's not ideal. You can get those removed at the end if anyone in the race is watching a clip of it. So those can get removed as long as they are not served. Which, unless we get another safety car, I doubt they will be served. So we might see safety car in this lap, leaving 14 to go when we cross the line. We should get the word soon, if it will come in this time. And it will be in this time. So Squid will lead off. Aid, F1 Master, Just a Human in 3rd, Tanky and Callum run out the top 5, the double McLaren top 5. Crooked Can a 5-second with Bianchi. Bianchi should presumably also get a 5-second for that. Actually don't know if he did. But so now it's a waiting game. Where will Squid go on this safety car restart? We're gonna go on board Aid here. Squid still waiting, and goes now. A little bit of wheel spin with the cold tires, but he's going to get a decent gap over 8F1 here to where he won't be able to get alongside, as we have one pitter.
8 has a run.
Crooked Can. 8 has to run. Does he go to the inside? No, he does not. Thinks better of it. No cheeky dive into the left-hander here in turn number 4. Now coming out number 5, Squid pulled out a massive gap there. Wonder if that's anything to do with any traction controls that either of them were running, as Squid's pulled out a good gap here over 8F1, as Callum picks up a 3-second, that'll be a 6-second for him down in 5th place. Go a little farther back, any chaos happening. Seems to
There's
be
a few
very
overtakes
single
by
file.
the Ferrari footed. I believe he got around Reptile for P7.
Abolitious a 3-second. P6 up for him, trying to get into that top 5. That's not going to help his campaign. As on board, Don Fabiano. Remember, this guy was leading the race before a speeding penalty under the virtual safety car. Stuck down at P9. Will he be able to climb himself out of this?
He's got 13, 14 laps to do it. Definitely can make up.
He's got the time.
Good.
As Squid goes fastest with a 128.413. We'll see if that gets beaten by anybody later on.
Oh, a late
As
dive by the Red Bull on Callum. He goes straight through
not
his
gonna
Callum.
stick.
Does the switchback, and that was a little bit cheeky, I believe. Better he just missed the braking zone, and either way, they kept their
Callum
spots.
stays ahead for the time being, sticking behind his teammate Tanky. A good showing for McLaren, as well as if Don Fabiano can gain those places back. It'll be a good showing for Alfa Romeo as well. Very single file at the moment. Could see some overtakes with DRS. Don Fabiano is close to the back of Broken Reptile here for position
Squid
number
has a
8.
problem.
Tanky a 3-second.
Through Chapel, he was
Squid had a
little bit slow.
problem through Chapel. Does 8 have enough? No overtake button being used. And he will settle behind Squid. Nothing doing into the final chicane. As Broken Reptile picks up a 3-second. Don Fabiano might have got a warning for that little extend as well. As DRS now enabled, could see some overtakes start to shape up, especially for that lead. 8 F1, just 0.2 of a second behind Squid. Squid, we saw him get good traction out of this section. Does he have it again? Looks like it. But 8 is closer this time. Using overtake. Will he get close enough into the braking zone to be able to dive? Does not. Sticks behind still. As we go back to Don Fabiano. Todd has DRS in front of him. Can't do much there. But
Aid very
train.
close to Squid. Definitely going to have a chance at him down the hangar straight after Magnus Bezos. Squid has a trouble through cops. Aid gets around
and
for the lead.
that promotes Aid to the lead, but Squid is going to have DRS. Will he be able to fight it back after this Magnus Bezos section? DRS enabled for Squid. No overtake being used though. Sticking behind. Just going to use the DRS, trying to save some ERS back up and go for a late charge. But we have a top 2 breakaway, just human trying to get into that.
Oh, there's a spin.
DRS window. As we have a spin, that's Broken Reptile off and now out of the points. That promotes Don Fab. No, that's FH444 has gotten by Don Fabiano, and he is now into the points. GJ Dizzle in 11th, Bianchi 12th. Dude, that half spin that happened. Was there contact with Don Fabiano in Broken Reptile?
I believe there was. I believe he ran into the right side of Ferrari. I believe it was Monster. He ran into the right side of trying to make an overtake at Stowe. And I got him into the grass a little bit.
I do see wing damage on that Alfa Romeo Don, so see if that hampers that pace that he could have. As
3 seconds.
Aid picks up a 3-second in the lead.
That promotes right now. The race ended. He would be your winner.
That does promote him to the win, if he could keep it clean himself. Now, if you've not raced with Squid before, I know Bama and I both have. Squid is usually very good on keeping it clean off penalties, so he could keep it clean to the end here if he could just stick with 8 F1. As Bianchi picks up another 3-second penalty, that there's almost no shot of him getting points today. His Ant had got by Don Fabiano. Don Fabiano is going to go and box. I would assume for some softs, get a fastest lap, and change that wing. Unlucky day for him. As still everybody holding relative position here. Yeah, Don's gonna put on those softs, push for fastest lap, and hope to get lucky with another safety car. But I don't know if we'll get one.
Do we see FH make a move on Monster down through left field? Takes that second spot away.
And he'll try and chase down Abolitious in 6th behind those two McLarens. They have a little train going there as well. As
Squid
Callum has got by
close.
Tanky here. Will Tanky fight it back on his teammate?
He's going to have the
Straight
DRS
here.
and he will be close enough.
He is close enough if he wants to use overtake. Is not, though, just willing to stick behind his teammate. He runs wide there, as Abolitious is not close enough to go for any move, though. So, out front, still 8F1 Master holding Squid in the DRS at the moment. And Just a Human running a quiet day in P3. Haven't really talked about him too much, but he's holding steady, about 1.5 seconds off that lead pack here, and has a good gap behind. So solid day for him as well if it stays this way. As we have a spinner,
Sector 1.
that would be Hooded
off the
Monster.
track.
Not sure if there was contact with FH or Ant there. They would have been the closest too, as Abolitious picked up another 3-second penalty. Still holding behind Tanky and Callum on track. We'll see how that plays out with penalties.
These two McLarens have been near each other all day. They've been almost at the exact same pace. As Tanky goes a little bit wide through Cops and picks up the penalty.
That might be his 9th second of penalties of the race here, as I'm looking at Ant in the Alpha Tauri on FH 444. Hooded Monster, GJ Dizzle both pick up 3-second penalties, as now Ant has a run and he'll be able to go to the outside, clear him before the straight ends. Yes, he will. No, FH goes for the dive. Oh, that was close. And now
into the grass.
He's
Kept it
just
straight.
He's maintained his position after being overtaken, as that could have been a lot worse than it was.
Back at the front, Squid not letting F1 Master get away from him. So he is still within 5/10 of first place.
Yeah, Squid still holding tight in that DRS window. Doing well to stick with him. As we have, Abolitious going for an opportunistic move on Tanky here. Will he get anything done here? Has way less overtaking Tanky for the time being. Don Fabiano, fastest lap on those softs, like I said, he might get.
Callum ran a little bit wide there through Cop's corner. Now the Red Bull will have DRS coming out of Chapel and try to take away that 5th spot from Tanky. It'll be pretty close.
Using overtake does not anymore. It does not have enough battery to be able to get close enough to Tanky here.
Looks like we're coming up on a lap car right in front of the leader.
That would be Crooked Can down in 14th. I believe that is an AI car. Yeah, it would be. So, Aid still trying to gap Squid here. If he does gap Squid enough to get out of that DRS window, he could potentially pull out that 3-second gap. But Squid has just been ever so consistent and sticking with him. But with little action going on right now, would like to take the mention and say feel free to join us back again in a little bit at 9 p.m. UK, which will be at 4 p.m. US Eastern for Tier 1 back at Silverstone. I'll be driving, and we'll have yesterday's commentator PMB and GSR Bianchi down right now in 12th, also co-commentating with him, I'm pretty sure. So that'll be at 4 Eastern, 9 UK in less than an hour, so feel free to come back to that. But back to the action now, as still that Squid just sticking with Aid, and just a human still maintaining that third position, maintaining a gap to Callum behind, and Callum tugging along Tanky and Albalicious, who Albalicious is a bit stuck because Tanky also has DRS, so not too much happening. As GJ Dizzle has a shot at FH here on the next straight, blocking up a little bit. Out of turn 4, does he get that good traction down? He does. I don't think he'll be close enough using overtake now. Will he be close enough to the Renault to go for a dive? Closing, not enough.
Lots of guys here within about 5/4 of each other, but even with the overtaking DRS, it's just a little bit too much of a gap for them to make any kind of moves to gain those spots.
Yeah,
instantly.
Especially if you're that third guy in line, you just cannot get close enough to be able to make the pass. Especially when the guy in front has DRS, but Albalicious getting still close to Tanky, just doesn't have the speed on the straight. As we have a yellow flag sector 2, that's Bianchi out of the Grand Prix. Will that bring out any safety car or VSC? Doesn't look
Squid
like
spins! Squid spins for second into the gravel!
No! Squid has just spun. Our potential race leader, Squid Jr., has just spun out, and now he'll be dropping all the way down to 6th, maybe even 7th place here. That promotes A to the lead, just a human up to a surprising 2nd place. And we have a VSC. We're going to slow it down here.
Oh, what terrible luck from him.
Any damage? Just Dirty Air lost the car. He's got left end plate damage.
Albalicious will drive through penalty. He's gonna have to pit from P5. F1 Master just has to make sure he doesn't do anything silly by going over the Delta for too long. And he's basically got this all locked up. Callum with a 3-second.
Count 3 second.
You know, after all this, Squid might still get a podium due to penalties because of Callum and Tanky, and Albalicious will have to have a drive-through. Squid might still have no penalties and still get 3rd.
Yeah, he has no penalties at the moment.
So you're back racing, and VSC ends with the Haas of F1 Master now with a clean and comfortable lead over the Racing Point of Human.
But so Squid could still get a podium out of this off penalties. I'm not sure if he will though. He does have that damage, so I don't know if that'll hinder him enough to where he'll lose time. Look at how wide he had to go there just to compensate.
He's got the AlphaTauri right there on his gearbox as well. He's wanting to get by. He might
overtake engaged.
It's going to go very close. He's going to go 3 seconds against the wall. Alongside to try to overtake through that corner, and he's going to pay the price for that. He's goes wide again.
As well.
He was eager to get around Squid with damage, and He paid a bit of
Yeah.
a price for it as Tanky gets yet another penalty. Now,
Big penalties for those guys. I'm pretty sure Squid will be a net P4 at least. I'm not sure if he's close
Tanky
enough
pits.
to Callum. Tanky was... No, I thought it was Albalicious who sped under.
He was. I think Avalanche still has to serve that penalty. I believe Tanky's... I don't know. I'm not too sure why he's
Tanky
pitting.
did not speed under VSC, I'm pretty sure. It doesn't say drive through
Another
on
yellow.
his.
Looks like the Mercedes of Reptile had spun through Stowe.
No, Tanky had to serve a drive-through, so...
Perhaps the gamer tags were just wrong on the screen. Could have been maybe just a glitch there. Was thinking Abolitious had
I don't know. Yeah, so did I. I thought it was Abolitious going to be demoted, but... Well, if Abolitious could get back into DRS here of Callum, which is just on the edge of, he might have a shot at overtaking him on track. Not sure how the penalty situation looks between them. I'm going to actually go through all of that now before we get to our final laps here. As Aid has the 1 penalty, Just a Human has 1 penalty as well. Callum has 3, 6, 9, 12 seconds of penalties. And Albalicious has the 1, 2, 3. He has 9 seconds of penalties.
Abolitious
And
pits.
Squid. So Abolitious did have to serve a drive-through. So that'll promote Squid up to 4th. I believe that'll be a net P3 for Squid, with Callum having 12 seconds of penalties.
That would be
That's
correct.
tough luck for Albalicious and Tanky, man. Having good solid days. Obviously the penalties were going to probably demote them a little farther down than what they could have been, but I think they still would have come out better than 10th and 11th. But no one in DRS range of anybody as we come down final 2 laps of the Grand Prix. It's been a masterclass. Had some issues. 8F1 mastered. He did, but it looks like barring any issues on this final lap or him getting 2 penalties, he should be able to close this one out with a round 1 victory at Britain with Just a Human on podium, and I believe it'll be Squid jumping Callum off penalties.
Dizzle picks up another
Dizzle
3
picks up a
spot.
3-second. He is currently 6th. We'll see where he stands after penalties are applied at the end of the Grand Prix.
Final lap here at Silverstone, as the Haas of F1 Master is going to take a bit of a victory lap, as he knows he has this one in the bag.
Yep, just has to keep it clean and make sure to not do what Squid did. Squid was pushing too hard and just bend it in the barrier, and as I say, that's another Alfa Romeo off, and that's Don Fabiano on older softs, losing at the end of Maggots and Beckett's complex on the hangar straight now. Won't bring out any safety car or impede anybody though, as it is the final lap and no one is nearby. So how about this? First, could just gotta round out 1 more sector, and we're gonna have another first time winner in GSR. First race, first win. I mean, the name says it all, 8F1 Master. Put a great show on today. Good battle, especially with the 2 Alfa Romeos and Callum at the beginning of the race as well. Didn't really know who was going to win it, but round in the final, coming to the final chicane now, 8F1 Master. Congratulations to you. It's going to be your first win in GSR. He's going to take the 25 points and the lead of the championship standings, as he had a 5 seconds time penalty. Will that fix anything with Just a Human? I don't believe it will. Just a Human had a 5 seconds. Well, he will come across P2, another first time podium finisher, as Callum will finish 3rd on track. Where will that be
I
after
believe
penalties?
believe Squid may have had a mishap because FH did get around him. I believe Squid may have had a
FH got
problem
around him.
somewhere.
Squid will still take the podium, though. So Squid, even after the spin, he's going to come back and get a third place. Obviously not the win that he would have been hoping for, but still a decent points day regardless after the mishap in turn 1. And FH444 coming out with the top 5. GJ Dizzle just behind him in 6th. Ant in 7th. Hooded Monster 8th. And Albalicious 9th. And Tanky running out the top 10. Those two had speeding under this VSC there and had to serve those drive-thrus. Unfortunately, cost them good points as they'll only pick up a combined 3. But as for the constructors, I believe it'll be Racing Point leading. If not, it'll be Haas with 8F1 taking the 25. So that was an alright race today. Definitely compared to Tier 4 yesterday with the rain, maybe not as exciting, especially with that late safety car they had, but this was still a good race regardless.
Quite the good show on for first place for, I would say, the good majority of the Grand Prix. Always a tight battle for who was going to be leading every lap. As the Haas of F1 Master moonwalks his way to the trophy.
Good showing by him. Kept it the most consistent all day and comes out with a nice win here today. Remember, Tier 1, half an hour until then at 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK. I think that'll be a good one. Hopefully, we can have a good race there as well. I'll be racing that PMB, and Bianchi will be commentating on this channel right here. Make sure to follow and turn notifications on if you want to if you want to be first into the chat on race day. So that'll be it. We'll see if we can actually get some interviews here. Try and get the top 3 in here. There's our race winner into the party. Aid, make sure to include your audio. I hope I said your name right all day. Just a human as well. How about it? Coming out on top, race 1. How's it feel?
Oh, what a race. I've got to say, incredibly happy, especially to win my home race. And it's a great debut as well.
Yeah, great debut, especially for both you and Human. Home Grand Prix for you. Had some good battles, especially with Squid and Callum and Don all throughout the race, but most consistent come out on top.
These guys are world class, and I got to say, Squid, if it wasn't for your mistake, mate, you would have come out on top.
Yeah, he had one less penalty than you. He kept it cleaner all day, but it's racing, and congratulations to you on the first victory. Hopefully we can see many more and good championship battle between a couple of you guys. And coming over to Human, very quiet day overall. Didn't see too many overtakes, but I think you could definitely be happy with that second place. Let me see if I could get Squid in here as well. If not, then that'll be pretty much it for our stream. So I think that'll pretty much do it. I think Squid got offline, and Human, I'll have to interview him on Discord if we want to do that. But I think for the stream, that'll pretty much be all. Make sure to tune in, in a few for Tier 1. I'll be ending it here. Thank you guys for watching. We had good viewership throughout the stream. That'll be